where the arrival of a new political party looks set to further disrupt the country's political scene. Sahra Wagenknecht was a well-known member of the far-left party Die Linke, but she's announced she's left and announced plans to set up her own party, which looks set to pull votes from all sides of the political spectrum. Deutsche Welle correspondent Arthur Sullivan joins us now from Berlin. Arthur, g'day. So tell us more about Sahra Wagenknecht and what she's hoping to achieve with this new party.
Yeah, so Sahra Wagenknecht, a very well-known politician in Germany for many years and a very influential one, former leader of the party known as Die Linke, or the left, and that's a far-left party which is the direct descendant of the Marxist-Leninist party which once ruled East Germany. Now, for years, a split has been expected in this party, and that was finally confirmed recently when Wagenknecht left Die Linke and announced plans to set up her own one, which we don't know the full details yet, but we know it will be named after herself. And she's already taken 9 MPs from her former party with her into this new entity, which will be officially launched in the coming months, we believe. Now, the reason for this, Wagenknecht argues that left-wing politics in Germany, and particularly with this former party of hers, have become too consumed with issues such as identity, climate change, and indeed she thinks they've become too liberal regarding the very hot topic of immigration. And she says she wants this new party to appeal to its more traditional base of leftist working class voters by focusing on jobs and housing.
So she's a far-left politician, but Germany is currently experiencing a surge in support for the far right. Is this new party going to take votes from it?
Yeah, the thing is, you can't really assess this news without acknowledging the fact that the AfD, a far-right party, is currently at record highs in polls in Germany. And they've also been doing very well in some important regional elections recently, so it's now translating into real votes. Now, the support nationally is close to 25% for the AfD, and Wagenknecht clearly believes that some of these voters would vote for a far-left alternative that she wants to build. Now, the rise of the AfD has been the political story of the year here in Germany. It has obviously delighted their supporters, but it has seriously concerned the many people in the country who don't want to see a far-right party which campaigns with anti-immigrant, ethno-nationalist rhetoric become so strong. Now, much of the AfD's recent success has been founded upon that vocal opposition to immigration to Germany, and we've seen Wagenknecht increasingly tap into this herself. She's spoken of the need to control immigration, and in some respects her position on the issue is a mirror image of the AfD. And she says consistently that people who support the AfD, or certainly many of them, are doing so because they're angry and it's a protest vote, and it's not because they're right-wing, and she thinks she can convince many of those voters to switch sides.
And so German politics is clearly in a state of flux. Could we see the mainstream parties lose power to these parties on the far right and left?
I think we can only really answer this when both the new party and the AfD are actually on the ballot in an election. And that could happen as early as next summer when there are European Parliament elections. Now, what we do know is that Wagenknecht is popular. Surveys have shown her to be one of the most liked politicians in the country. And a recent poll asking people if they would vote for her new party found that around 14% would, which is quite a high number. And she could take votes then, theoretically, from every party, including the AfD. Now, the question of whether her party or the AfD party could get into power is complicated because the AfD is currently excluded by the mainstream parties who don't govern with them, regardless of their vote at national or regional level. But let's imagine the scenario that the AfD support holds and Wagenknecht's party also does well. Well, then it's going to become harder and harder for mainstream parties to find enough votes to form coalitions and to keep excluding them. Germany at national level is currently governed by 3 different parties in a coalition, and that government has been characterised increasingly by infighting and discord. And the big picture here, nationalism and populism is rising, and this new party is looking to further exploit that and disrupt things even more.
OK, Arthur Sullivan reporting there from Berlin. Time now for finance news. Here is Alicia Barry.